Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, Amma. Morning.
Still joining, sir.
Okay. Are you able to get my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can anyone summarize the yesterday's class? John, Vamsi, Gopal, Sujana, Satya, Vinod, Sai, Sudhir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can anyone summarize yesterday's class? What we have discussed on yesterday's session?
Types of ICs and IC packages.
Types of
Yeah, anyone? No. One can speak out. Yeah, Vamsi, tell me.
Sir, types of
Vamsi,
ICs and IC packages. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And
So
next,
yesterday at the end of the session, we are saying what we learn is what are the different blocks in operational amplifier.
operational amplifier. Yes, sir.
Before to that, what we have discussed is what are the different types of ICs and advantages of ICs and types of ICs based on density. How many density in the sense how many electronic components can be placed in a single chip. Like the way that is one type, and the type is based on its construction, and based on input signal. Also, we have seen different types of integrated circuits, and we have seen its advantages and disadvantages of also we discussed yesterday, and now we are going to and some features of operational amplifier also we discussed, and now we are going to see the block diagram of amplifier. So in the input stage also what we discussed in the input stage, it is having one differential amplifier, and it is in its intermediate state it can contain two cascade differential amplifiers, and level shifter as usual emitter following is going to be used as level shifter, and in its output stage in order to increase the maximum gain, so there we can use push-pull complementary amplifier. So these are the different amplifiers where we are using in operational amplifier. So if you see here, this is the block diagram of operational amplifier. In its you can observe clearly in the input stage which type of amplifier we are using is a dual input balanced output differential amplifier. So that is the reason it is having two input terminals and two output terminals. So whatever the differential amplifier we are using in first stage, that is input stage, we are using in which mode dual input and balanced output differential amplifier. So thereafter in intermediate stage we are going to use dual input unbalanced output differential amplifier with cascading mode. Okay, so two differential amplifiers can be cascaded in intermediate mode, so that that cascaded amplifier can be used in which mode, in the sense dual input out unbalanced output, in the sense it can take two inputs and it can provide only one input. So that is all about the intermediate stage. And coming to the level shifting and level shifter, so in order to replace the DC levels, so to restore the DC value of output signal, so as in the previous stage we are using cascaded amplifier, so that what is happening to the output is its DC value may get move to the or may get its DC value gets increased. So if DC value increased, what will happen? So some portion of output signal may get distorted. So to avoid that distortion, we are going to use level shifter, which can restore the DC value, so that no signal distortion will happen. So in order to increase the output strength, we are going to use another amplifier, that is nothing but complementary push-pull amplifier. So here also we are using, we can use a class A amplifier or class B amplifier, or both class AB amplifier. Any amplifier we can use, but both the amplifiers we are giving different complement signals to the output from the level shifter. We are going to give this output of level shifter is going to give to the two transistors in push-pull complementary amplifiers with opposite polarity. Okay, so thereby it will increase the gain of it will increase much more, increases the gain, so that finally we will get the output. And this is the symbol which is represented as triangle, rotated triangle with two input terminals and one output terminal, and two power sources are there. VCC is going to be already I told you, VCC is always given to the positive value, and VEE is always given to the negative value, and VCC is always a DC source, and the VEE is always a negative polarity source. So both we are going to give DC sources only. So this is all about block diagram of operational amplifier. Yeah, can anyone, if you have any doubts, you can ask me regarding block diagram of operational amplifier. Hello everyone.
Yes, sir.
Clear, sir.
Yeah, if you have any doubts, please raise.
Okay, sir.
Okay, shall we go for the next point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the how the circuit can be constructed internally for the operational amplifier. See here, in its first stage, dual input, dual output transistor can be used. So that is, this is the dual input and dual output transistor. In intermediate stage, we are going to use cascade differential amplifier. So if you see with these three transistors, it can access the differential amplifier, the cascaded differential amplifier, and finally level translator, in the sense which is going to be a common collector amplifier. See here, for common collector amplifier, we are going to take output from emitter terminal only. So, and this is push-pull amplifier, where push-pull amplifier we are going to give output to the first transistor. We are going to give direct output, and from the second transistor it will invert the output. So it will shift the output by 180 degrees, as all of you know, and the transistor itself, it acts as an inverter. So here, if you are applying with sinusoidal signal with 0 degrees, it can provide the with 90 degrees, so that it phase obviously output will be get inverted. So at the final output, we are getting same signal. Again, it is going to be inverted here, so that we are getting same output what we are getting from the level translator. But by using push-pull amplifier only, gain will much more increases, but no change in output. So this is how circuits can be connected internally inside the operational amplifier. So now we can see the characteristics of operational amplifier. So the characteristics, in the sense, we can consider it as ideal characteristics, so coming to the ideal characteristics, infinite open loop gain. So I think all of you know, I think everyone is now in the semester you are learning about control systems. Are you clear, all of you? Or else you have completed control systems in 2 Hello?
చెప్పండి సార్.
Yes, sir.
Where you have seen the control systems in 3.1 or 2.2?
2-2, sir.
2
Yeah,
sir.
2.2. That is very fine. I think no need to explain. No, I think I don't have much more burden if you face it in 2.2. So can anyone tell me what is the open loop gain and closed loop gain? What is meant by open loop and what is meant by closed loop?
Sir, open loop in the sense absence of feedback, sir.
Open loop,
In the sense of absent of feedback, sir. Without
absent of feedback. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what is feedback?
Feedback in the sense we can correct the errors, sir.
We
Yes,
can
sir.
connect the errors.
Yes, sir.
Now, can you give me the real-time example?
Yes, sir.
Will you give the real-time example for that feedback?
Motors,
Motors, how?
Sir.
automatic washing machines.
Yeah, how we can provide it feedback? Automatic washing machine in the sense how can you explain its working?
అక్కడ మనకి ఏమైనా ఎర్రర్
Yeah, yeah.
ఉంటే సార్ అది డిటెక్ట్ చేస్తుంది సార్ ఫీడ్బ్యాక్
What?
అనేది దాంతో
What?
పంపిస్తుంది.
Sorry, I did not get your answer. Can you repeat again? Hello.
ఎస్ సార్
Tell me.
ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ ద్వారా ఏమైనా ఎర్రర్స్ ఉంటే అది కరెక్ట్ చేసి పంపుద్ది సార్ మళ్ళీ.
What error in the sense? What is the meaning of error?
నాయిస్.
No, noise. See, what is which word we can use error in the sense corrections. If there are any corrections, we can do it through feedback. If you
Yes.
if you take refrigerator, I think everyone is familiar with refrigerator. So I think we most of the time we are observing that automatically that motor will automatically on and automatically it's go to the off stage. Once you switch on the refrigerator, that motor will on for some times, and after that it will go to the off stage. Why? What is happening? Can anyone? Vamsi,
సార్
Yes, sir.
ఈ క్వశ్చన్
if you switch on the refrigerator, for some time it is going to be on and it will the motor will rotate.
Yes, sir.
Later it will come to the off stage. Or else if you take AC,
Yes, sir.
once you switch on the AC and you fixed it for 27 the room temperature, once the room temperature reaches, automatically it is going to be off stage.
Sleep on.
That is in the sense the motor does not rotate.
Yes, sir.
So how it is happening? Just tell me the process. What is happening there?
It's about relay, sir.
Yeah. Why relay is going to be off stage? Yeah, you can.
It have instructions, sir. The relay acts as a మనం ఇచ్చిన ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్ బేస్ అయి ఉంటుంది సార్ అది మనం సర్టెన్
Very good, Vamsi. So what is happening there is if the box is if you take refrigerator, if the box is reaches to maximum cooling in the box, what we are fixing there in the notification, we can fix the this much of this much of temperature only we need to maintain in this refrigerator or else in our room. After fix, if once the box is reached to that temperature, so automatically relay will gets open.
Yes, sir.
Means once it can continuously measure the output. Once it reaches the maximum output and what is the output given by the user, so it can give the same output to the input. So to indicate that the output has been reached to the maximum or value fixed by the user, so now no need to run the system. So then what is happening there? The relay is automatically get open, and so no power is going to be given to the refrigerator. If again what is happening, if room temperature or cooling in the box is reduced, then again it can measure the output and it can indicate the input. So now again we need to start the process. So if that is identified, so relay automatically can connect to the power system, power, and so again motor will run continuous. So this is the process will take in. So all this is happening only because of feedback only. So feedback in the sense it can take some fraction of output we are going to give to the input signals. So by comparing input and output, if any errors are there, so based on that difference, every system will works. If there is no feedback is given, that automation will be not possible in any systems. So that is the main advantage of feedback. Is that clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
So if feedback is not given, then the system is called open loop system. Feedback is given, system is called closed loop systems. So similarly here also in our discussion also open loop, here infinite open loop gain in the sense.
Sir, screen
we
is
are
not visible, sir.
Okay, you can just wait. I think everyone facing same problem.
No, sir.
Vansi, are you getting my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just now, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That may be network delay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, see here, ideal op amp. Hello.
Sir, screen off అయింది.
Now it is okay, Vansi?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I think everyone know what is gain. Gain is nothing but output by input. So infinite open loop gain. Every operational amplifier should have infinite open loop gain. That is in the sense, if gain is going to be infinite, so that is only possible by the what is gain formula, output by input. So if input is going to be 0, so then obviously gain is going to be infinite. Is that clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Here,
Sir.
infinite open loop gain in the sense there is no feedback from output terminal to the input terminal in an operational amplifier. So if amplifier is not using feedback, then its gain should be infinite. That is practical condition. But that is ideal condition or theoretical condition. But in practically, so gain should be very high for a open loop amplifier. Open loop amplifier. It's clear?
Yes, sir.
So these are the ideal characteristics. So the ideal characteristics in the sense these are the theoretical characteristics, but practically it is not possible to get the infinite gain. But what is its sense? Sense is a gain will be very high. So practically gain will be very high while we are operating operational amplifier in open loop mode. That is in the sense input should be very less. So clearly we mentioned that input is clear when input will become near to 0. So that is possible when input impedance is very high. So in the next characteristics we can say infinite input impedance. Practically that is not possible, but operational amplifier is having a very high input impedance. So that if the input impedance is high, what is happening there? Obviously output input will become input current will become reduced. Is that clear, all of you? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what is happening? Infinite impedance in the sense obviously zero current will be input current will be 0, and one more another characteristic is 0 input offset voltage. So what is offset voltage? In previous sessions we clearly mentioned what is offset values. What is offset values? If there is no, if you are not providing any input to the operational amplifier,
Positive, sir.
hello,
Positive, sir.
not positive. See here, in sometimes if you are not providing any input to the particular device, but sometimes you are able to get the output. That values are nothing but offset values. Without providing input also, we may get some small amount of output. That value is nothing but offset output. See here in the diode, if you are not providing in the transistor or diode, if you are not providing input signal, but we are able to see the output only. Why? Because some sort of current flow due to minority carriers will be happen. So because of that only we can see the output there. So practically that output should be zero. Offset output should be zero for any device. Is that clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Any tell me.
Yes, sir.
Offset values for the system is should be zero. So here also we can consider the ideal characteristics amplifier offset voltage is zero, and infinite output voltage ranges. That is in the sense output voltage range for any operational amplifier should be very high range, and bandwidth infinite bandwidth with zero phase shift and infinite slew rate. So we can see in the next slide what is the slew rate and the infinite bandwidth. Again bandwidth came, and what is bandwidth? What is bandwidth?
Range of frequencies, sir.
Yeah, very good. Range of frequencies. See here, everyone nowadays is going to be recharge their mobile. If you are Jio subscriber, hello.
చెప్పండి, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
చెప్పండి sir.
If you are Jio or Airtel subscriber, so what they will provide you after recharging?
Internet and calls, sir.
Hello.
Internet and calls, companies can provide you
Internet. How you can use internet?
due to transfer of packets, sir.
Yeah, what is that package? Tell me.
Packets in the sense of physical transfer, zeros and ones is converted into packets.
Everything we need to compare with our real life. So engineering is nothing but a day-to-day development. So what we are learning is already introduced in previously. So our engineering subjects are very valuable, and they are very useful in our real life. Okay. See here, after recharging, what message you will get is so 24 GB data is credited in your account, or 84 GB data is credited in your account. So or else if you recharge for single day, so you get 1 GB data credited in your account. And like the way we are getting messages. Is that clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
So what is that meaning is that 84 GB in the sense, if you take two friends from our sessions, and for example take Jio. So Jio today is going to be start with its sharing their entire bandwidth from the let Jio start with 0, or else we can start with 10 gigahertz. Okay. Up to yesterday only, up to your recharge, what Jio consumed is 10 gigahertz. Let us consider. Is that clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
In Jio server, how much frequency can be used by all users is 10 GB. Let us consider. Okay. Practically 10 GB is very less value. If the even everyone using per day, everyone using 1 GB in the sense, how much GB is required for Jio by used by all users in the on this earth. But consider simply a small value for our convenience only. So consider 10 GB used by all our users all over the world up to now. So after your recharge, so once you recharge, so Jio will categorize some particular bandwidth for you. That bandwidth is nothing but if you recharge for one day, sorry, if you recharge for 84 data, 84 GB, so 10 to 84, in the sense 10 to 84 frequency is fixed to your mobile. So 10 to 84 in the sense, sorry, 10 to 94 bandwidth will offer to you. Is that clear, all of you? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
While you recharging, entire Jio used up to 10 GB only. Once you recharge it, what Jio will do is 84 GB needs to provide on your mobile phone. So 10 plus 84 in the sense up to 94 GB, this bandwidth belongs to you only. Again thereafter your friend is going to be recharged. So what is the Jio pack used up to 94? Again 94 to another 84 slot will be given to your friend. Again next anyone use it for 10 GB, so next 10 GB slot is given to your friend. Again anyone recharge for 1 GB, again next 1 GB slot is given to your friend only. Like the way particular frequencies are assigned by taking recharges. So if you can see, so Jio is given 10 GB to 94 GB for your mobile only. Is that clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yes,
now
sir.
we can see, if you start in this 84 GB, so what is your data quota per day? Per day 1 GB consider. Okay, so 1 GB in the sense 10 to 84 GB. So in this 10 to 11 GB is should used by in this day only. So it will start the zero frequency. Again it will count from 10.1 GB, 10.2 GB, 10.3 GB, 10.4 GB, 10.5 GB. So once you reach the 10.5 GB, so automatically you will get the message. So 50% of data has been used today. Hello.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
for
sir.
first day bandwidth is nothing but 10 to 11 GB only. For second day bandwidth only 11 to 12 GB only. So this is the range of frequencies. So here low frequency is 10 GB, higher cutoff frequency is 11 GB per day. Is that clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
this is called the bandwidth. So how the bandwidth can utilized in our mobile, in networks, mobile networks. So entire 84 GB is credited to you. That band is also belongs to you only. That means that is in essence 11 to 10.1 to 93.9 is bandwidth belongs to you. Particularly Vamsi only who got who bought that bandwidth. Again in that also bandwidth is subdivided into 84 bandwidths, because for every day we need to use that amount only, that particular band of frequencies only. So for 10.1 to 11.0 gigahertz to be used by today only. So what is that range? Lower cutoff frequency is 10 gigahertz and higher cutoff frequency is 11 gigahertz. That is automatically fixed by Jio server on your mobile. So in that range today you are not able to use remaining data. So after 12 PM completed, so what server will do? So it will assign new bandwidth to your mobile phone. That is 11.0 to 12. That is for next day. So here cutoff frequencies will change. So lower cutoff frequency will become 11 gigahertz and higher cutoff frequency will become 12 gigahertz. So that is the most real-time applications of bandwidth. So bandwidth in the sense everyone can realize what is bandwidth is nothing but range of frequencies. So what is the meaning of range of frequencies? Being an electronic students, we should learn what is its real-time applications. So this is the major advantages and bandwidth. So that is the reason why every signal needs to represent in its that is application will come next slide. So what is the necessity of representing time domain signal in its frequency domain signals? We might have seen in our signals and systems during 2-1, I think so. So what is the purpose? So this is the one real-time application to represent the signals in its time domain. sorry, time domain signals to represent in its frequency domain signals. Hello.
చెప్పండి సార్.
How we can represent the time domain signals in its frequency domain? So without representing frequency domains, so we can't use bandwidth like this. So without representing whatever the data we are using in frequency domain, if there is no representation in frequency domain, how the server will calculate? So where there is a necessity of converting time domain signals into the frequency domain signals. But how we can convert the time domain signals into frequency domain signals? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Vamsi, tell me. Not only Vamsi, from anyone from this discussion. Sorry, from this entire. I think how many members are there? 180, 145 members. Out of these 145, can anyone tell?
Repeat the question, sir.
How we can convert the time domain signals into the frequency domain signals? I think just now we have seen what is the advantages of representing signals in its frequency domain by using bandwidth allocations or like that.
Fourier series.
Yeah, very good, Sujana. Fourier series. Fourier series for what? Which type of signals? Entire Fourier series. By using Fourier series, it does not represent every signal into the frequency domain. Fourier series is only used to represent the timed periodic signals only. Just like a sinusoidal signal, cosinusoidal signals, all these are periodic signals. But my voice signal is not periodic. It will varies by randomly. Or your voice signals also will vary randomly. Intensity will vary randomly, and music signals also will vary randomly. So like that, signals who are not periodic in nature, so for that signals we are going to use Fourier transform. Simple. Fourier series is for converting time domain signals into frequency domain signals. Only for periodic signals we can use Fourier series. Fourier transform we can use for aperiodic signals like exponential signals and all the signals we are going to use Fourier transform for continuous signals. And Fourier transform will fail some of the cases like Dirichlet conditions. If that condition is not satisfied, so we are going to use Laplace transform. So these three mathematical tools are used to represent any time domain signals into the frequency domain signals. For discrete signals, obviously we are going to use jet transforms. Okay, these are the tools to represent frequency responses of signals. But here we are using operational amplifier. Operational amplifier is a system, and how to represent the system response in its frequency domain means in its time domain we can find it easily by calculating output in terms of if you are providing x of t as output and we are x of t as input, we are taking output is y of t. So by calculating relation between y of t and x of t, so we can find it easily response of operational amplifier in its time domain. Is that clear, all of you? So to find the operational amplifier working in its frequency domain, we should use particular mathematical tools, just like how we are using Fourier transform, Fourier series on signals. But on systems, which type of responses we are going to use? That is also you clearly learn during your control systems. All these are applications included in every subject. Remaining subject applications also included. And I'm not sharing any screen right now. Just I'm speaking and I'm raising questions. Hello.
చెప్పండి సార్.
Okay. And so to learn the response of the system in its frequency domain, we are going to use Bode plot. I think everyone know about Bode plot. In its control systems itself, we completed. Okay, we are moving out of the syllabus here. You can see. Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, are you able to get my screen?
No, sir.
Is my screen visible to all?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, okay. Just now activated. You can wait a second.
Okay, sir.
Let me know if you are getting my screen.
No, sir. Yes, sir. We are able to see your screen.
Okay, okay, that is fine. So what we discussed here, infinite output voltage range and bandwidth. So we are discussing about bandwidth. So from this way we are moving to other points. And infinite bandwidth and phase shift and infinite slew rate we can see in the next slide. And zero noise. So noise in obviously every system should not maintain any noise. Okay, noise in the sense which is very unwanted in particular transmission. For example, if you are in our CRT monitor TVs, so what is happening there is while watching ETV, so backside Gemini signals are remaining, other signals may get scroll back from left to right. Is that clear, all of you?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So while watching ETV, so system needs to get only ETV signals from ETV channel only. But because of interference in the signals, what is happening? Even Gemini signals also will come backside to the and they will scroll down. So at that time, Gemini signals are nothing but noise. So anything we don't need at that point, that is nothing but noise. Even though that is important message, but right at that time you don't need that one. If you are watching some other your interested show in ETV, then why should that should be interrupted by some other channels? So that should not be like that. So for any efficient system, so noise should be zero. Is that clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
So here also how to find noise and how to calculate the noise effect on operational amplifier by using so already we have seen RVSP. What is spectral density and noise spectral density, noise power density. Since it is a noise, we don't know how it can arise it, or how it can changes its values and amplitude or everything. We are not able to find it the values of noise. So noises can be treated as random signal. So for that random signal, we can easily find out its power in its frequency domain, how it is moving. Based on that one, we are finding power. So that is the reason if you see in 4th unit or 5th unit in RVSP, I think yeah, 5th unit and 6th unit in RVSP, there also we are going to use Fourier transform to find the power spectral density, in the sense noise power spectral density. In the sense, for the noise, we are not able to calculate its time period or amplitude or frequency, whatever these things. But we can by using Fourier transform, we are able to calculate how much power is going to be used by the noise. So if you remove that power, so you can easily remove the noise effect. Is that clear, all of you? If you take sinusoidal signal, that is the reliable signal, but noise is a non-deterministic signal. Deterministic signal, non-deterministic signal, in the sense, if you are able to calculate physical properties like amplitude, frequency, and time period, all these qualities or properties of a particular signal, if you are able to calculate, then the signal is nothing but realistic signal. Otherwise, we are not able to find out these physical qualities, then the signal is called non-realistic and random. We can say it easily random signals. So noise is completely belongs to the random signals, and so by calculating its power, we can take some more actions on particular how the noise is generated and how to overcome the noise. So like the way we can take some precautions. So in order to remove the effect of noise on particular system. So like the way here, our operational amplifier also should maintain zero noise. And already I told you infinite common mode rejection ratio. Common mode rejection ratio in the sense our operational amplifier is using only in differential mode, not in common mode. So operational amplifier should itself it should have ability to avoid the acting of amplifiers as common mode. So how much ability to it can avoid the operating of differential amplifier in its common mode? That ability is represented by common mode rejection ratio. See, it is a simple amplifier. It does not know whether it needs to work on differential amplifier or else on common mode amplifier. Common mode amplifier in the sense it will add the two inputs and provides the output. But in differential amplifier, it can subtract the input and provides the output. But operational amplifier should always needs differential mode only, not common mode. In common mode, it is going to be add two input signals. Again and again, I am repeating. So you need to listen very carefully. So here also, so to avoid like that, to avoid common mode operation, so we should maintain very high infinite CMMR ratio. By maintaining CMMR value only, we can operate operational amplifier as a differential amplifier. Similarly, infinite power supply rejection ratio. That is in the sense if you are providing more than power, so what is happening? ICs will get damaged. So for high, if you are getting, unfortunately, if the operational amplifier is getting very high power, so that is also needs to be rejected itself. So all these are ideal characteristics only, but practical characteristics are very near to this one. Infinite in the sense, in practical it is maybe represented as very high. Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, these are the ideal characteristics of op-amp. While in if you are getting for 2 marks, what is the offset voltage and what is if any if you got question like that, what is CMMR? So we need to explain that in 2 to 3 lines. And what is zero output impedance for ideal conditions? Or else what if you got the question? What are the characteristics of ideal amplifier? Then we can place the answer like this only. If you ask, they ask the question for particular characteristic, that is explain about infinite open loop gain. In the sense that then we need to explain like this. So open loop gain in the sense if you are not providing any input, then only it can provide the output. So this should be infinite for the particular concept. So like the way for each and every characteristics we are able to explain. If you got question for 2 marks, or else if you got the question in essay type, what are the explain the characteristics of ideal op-amp means. So then we need to give we no need to specify. Sorry, we should specify all these characteristics, and we can explain the every characteristics at least for 2 to 3 lines. So this is the way how to write the how to appear for examinations. Clear all of you? Hello?
Yes,
Sir,
sir.
Okay.
Sir, can you please tell difference between common mode and differential mode?
So that is all we have seen in during first unit, I think so. So common mode is nothing but I think everyone know about differential amplifier. See, this is the basic differential amplifier. Here to I'm pointing to transistors here. Is that clear all of you?
Yes, sir.
So these two transistors, one from one terminal, one base, we are going to give inverting output. From another transistor, from its base, we are going to give non-inverting input. Okay. So this is the differential amplifier. For this differential amplifier, it is having two input terminals. One is non-inverting and another one is, so I will show clearly. You can just wait. In the first unit, we can we learn very clearly difference between common mode and differential mode. See here, this is the differential representation of differential amplifier. Is my screen visible to all?
Yes, sir.
See here, Q1 transistor is one transistor, Q2 transistor is another transistor. So this is the differential amplifier which is used in dual input balanced output. So this is the first stage in operational amplifier we are using. So here from Q1, one input terminal will become, that is nothing but non-inverting terminal. From Q2, another input terminal came out, that is nothing but inverting terminal. So here input is given, that is nothing but V in 2. Here input is given for first transistor V in 1. If output is proportional to the V in plus V1, is that clear all of you? Output can taken from a collector of Q1 and collector of Q2. If the output is sum of two input signals, that is nothing but here input is V in 1 and another input is V in 2. If the output is directly proportional to the V in plus V in 2, then it is nothing but common mode amplifier. If the output is difference of two inputs, that is output V0 is directly proportional to V in minus V in 1 minus V in 2, then mode is nothing but differential mode. Simply saying that if the output is proportional to difference of input signals, then the operational amplifier, then the amplifier is called differential amplifier. If output is V equals to V in plus V1, then it is nothing but common mode. Clear all of you?
Okay, sir. It's clarified.
Okay. See here, already I told you, if you got the question for SS, we need to explain each and every characteristic like this. So basic information, specifications of practical op amp. In the previous slide, we have seen ideal conditions. So there we can see practical conditions. So these are also we need to explain clearly if you got the question for essay. So input offset voltages. So already I told you offset voltages and offset current. So offset currents or offset voltages are nothing but without giving any input, they can provide output or so that type of current should be 0 for a particular operational amplifier. And bias current is also nothing but so that is the basic current to operate to activate the operational amplifier. And differential input resistance. So all these characteristics we can see here. Power supply connections. So what is the power supply? We are going to give the particular operational amplifier is we can provide 5 volts to 22 volts. See here, this is the block diagram of operational amplifier. Already I told you. For this one, we should give maximum of 5 volts or 22 volts for the particular operational amplifier. Here plus VCC is there, so at this plus VCC we can connect 5 volts. At the same time we can connect minus 5 volts or negative to the VEE. Or else if you are giving 10 volts here, we should give here minus 10 volts. We are giving 11 here, we should give here minus 11 volts. That is in the sense negative polarity we need to connect here and positive polarity we need to connect VCC. So that power supply that power supply can be from vary from 5 volts to 22 volts. Next one is differential amplifier. So already I told you differential amplifier is nothing but output should be proportional to the V1 minus V2. V1 is nothing but one input terminal and V2 is nothing but another input terminal. So in common mode, what is happening? VC equals to V1 plus V2. So how to calculate? Already we have seen also this one also we have seen CMR, common mode rejection ratio, which is nothing but gain in differential mode by gain in common mode. So common mode is nothing but output is also proportional to V1 plus V2 by 2. Is that clear? This is also we have discussed earlier. And offset voltage. So this characteristics offset voltage. Can you see? Can anyone read out what is offset voltage?
The differential voltage that must be applied between the two input terminals of an op amp to make the output voltage is 0.
Output voltage is 0. Okay. So what is happening there is without providing input also, what is happening? There will be output is given. So to make that voltage output, we are going to internally provide some input voltages. Is that clear, all of you?
Sir,
So then only we are going to provide external inputs. Internally, if without providing output is presented, so to make or to nullify that voltage, we need to provide some much of we need to provide signals to at the input side. That signal is nothing but input offset voltage. What is output offset voltage? Without providing any input, we are getting output voltage. That output is nothing but output offset voltage. But what is input offset voltage? To nullify the output offset voltage, we are going to provide some sort of voltage values. That is nothing but input offset voltage. Hope you got clear.
Yes, sir.
By providing some sort of voltages at the input side, so obviously at the output side it is going to be reduced. So for IC 741, we can see entire unit and what are the features of and specifications of operational amplifier naming with 741. For that IC 741, what is the input offset voltage is 6 millivolts. So 6 millivolts internally we need to provide. After making all these conditions, only IC can be ready to going for the markets only. So all these precautions are done by while IC is fabrication. So every user not to make all these modifications in the particular system. If you are buying a TV, MI TV or whatever so what is your feasibility and simply giving the input signals by means on power supply. So remaining all settings you no need to maintain. Hello?
Sir, yes, sir.
Yeah. So nowadays, if you see in olden days, what is happening? If you are buying particular TV, so we need to purchase, or if you are buying a refrigerator, we need to purchase parallelly voltage regulator also we need to purchase. But nowadays it is no need to use. Why? Because even voltage regulator also internally inbuilt the most of the refrigerators. So like the way, so we no need to provide offset voltage. Manufacturer already will provide the in itself. Okay. So once we are giving input signal, from that it can take 6 millivolts. So obviously it will nullify the offset voltage. Is that clear? All of connection may be given like that. Is that clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that is fine. So input offset current, we have seen offset current, offset voltage. So same like that, like the way of input offset current. So from next session onwards, we can see the remaining characteristics of practical characteristics of op-amp. Thereafter, we can see what is the pin configuration of 741 IC1 and its block diagram. See here, this is the pin configuration of IC741. Meanwhile, we need to discuss all these practical characteristics and how the frequency response. Just now we talk about the Bode plot, how to represent the system response in its frequency domain by using Bode plot. Okay, so tomorrow all these topics we can cover, and see here the block diagram of IC741 or pin description of IC741. Okay, it is a 8-pin IC, so each and every pin is having some specifications just like inverting output, non-inverting output, and power supply positive and power supply negative, and output terminal and offset terminals. So all these pin diagrams can be included. We can see its block diagram and the specifications of each and every pin diagram. So meanwhile, we need to discuss this remaining practical characteristics of operational amplifier. So hope you enjoying the session. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you all for your presence, and thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. You can leave from the meeting now.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all. Have a great lunch. Bye.
Okay, sir. Bye.
Okay, sir. Bye, sir.